Stream. Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I did not stream Monday or Tuesday, but I had some stuff come up that I had to take care of. We're not going to get too much into it right now. But yeah, we're not going to get too much into it right now. Might be less streams as I need to work on getting my bedroom project going, as I might have to give up the office space soon. So I need to get going on that project. I started getting some stuff done on that project. I'm at a point where I can kind of like roughly ish lay things out. And see how things are gonna lay out when I finally move stuff over. Okay, but here's what I was working on last night. I'm trying to learn how to use the crafters to auto craft like honey blocks, and then make it so it goes into a storage system where you get the honey blocks here. This is just the design that I've figured. I haven't really figured it out, but I kind of figured it out, but at the same time I kind of looked up a design. This dropper, these are droppers, right? Yeah, those are droppers. This dropper Vader is my own kind of design from what I've figured out works and doesn't work. So let's grab the empty bottles from here. I kind of want this to be a self-sufficient system, which I believe it is. Oops, I turned that down in the wrong place. 80. So as bottles come in, they go up. That block was literally there so I could place it. They come up to the top here, and then they get fed back across to here and into this dropper. So now I'm trying to figure out how I can act this design here, which should theoretically be fairly simple to do, because realistically I don't need 3 double chests worth of honey blocks, I think. So I think if we just made it to where it's 2 double chests, maybe. Ooh, I didn't think about that though. Because once this is full, then the honey blocks are just gonna. So technically, we'd have to filter out the glass bottles as well, which we could do. But we filter them out so that they go into the recycling system. And technically what I'd want to do is have 4 nests, bee nests. It's 4 bottles, makes 1 block. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how I can improve this design that I already have where it just gives honey bottles. What do I do if I want honey bottles, though? I mean, I guess theoretically we have 1 slice that just gives us bottles, 4 slices that create honey blocks, and maybe 2 slices that produce the honeycomb. And we have 1 of those slices that goes into another crafter where it could make candles, maybe. I forgot to turn something off. Idiot. Not using that. Also, we got some of our parts, the RC truck build in today. Got our little tiny motor right here. The Hobby Wing quick run outer 1621, 16 millimeter diameter, 21 millimeter length. And then that came with the quick run mini 24 speed controller. And I have the speed controller plugged into my FlySky FGR4S. So we're slowly getting the RC back up and running. There will be a stream rebuilding the SCX 24 or 4Runner here in the next couple days hopefully. Still waiting on. I have a new body coming tomorrow. And then we have a parts coming from China as well. Parts from China are the most important parts, technically, because that's going to be our new chassis, the new the transmission that works with that motor. And some spare parts for the knuckles I'm running on my SCX 24. Although I'd only want the but if I wanted to craft candles, then if we had let's say it was that and we swap shears into that. Grab that. It's number 6, 1, 2. Time. Night. Hopefully they'll just want to go in. I won't have to do XO Doom. And we'll just do XO Doom. So if we 3 and then we pop that on like so. make a hopper like that. This would be shears. I don't have shears on me, so we have to go in here and grab. So then there'd be honeycomb, and say we put. So I don't want ingredients. We want one singular string to put in there so we can have the recipe ready. Take a look to the sky while you die. Still being ingredients, we need to be a honeycomb. Is it gonna automatically craft that? Yeah. Actually, if we just do this, then we put a chest here where we fill. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, though. It's gonna fill that. So that becomes a new problem. Where I would have to that. So technically that I could build next to a string farm. Right. Okay, yeah, I did build that. So technically I could maybe simplify that, I think. How we're gonna do that, I don't know off the top of my head. So I think the easiest way to go about this is to start with the storage. So if we did boop boop, right, and boop boop, two hoppers pointing into it like so. Then we did that. Technically, that would be there. That would be there. There'd be a inheritor there. heater there. Block, block. Dust, dust, dust. So there's our simple item filter. Almost. Got it. And ow, son of a brisket, dude. I just realized I need that whole back. I'm an idiot. Why I had that. Then technically off of that, so if we went here, why are you doing this? I want to be a rock star. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I thought I did, but I don't. Out on the road for 40 days. Last night in the rock put me in a haze. Oh, and that's a natural fact. All night with KK. As long as we get to the show tonight, we're an American man. Because there would be a hopper line running over. No. I'm stupid. So if we broke that out, put our crafter there with a hopper. That they was into me, the boys in the band. They said, dudes, let's get it up, and we proceeded to tear that. Ooh, wait, this may not work. Because I think the redstone's gonna. Yeah, that redstone's gonna connect and it's gonna drain the filter. What could I use there that the redstone's. No, because that works. Your town will help you find out. There we go. And then string just feeds in. So that whenever a honeycomb is made, just crafts the candle. That's the way we want that to. So technically, this isn't going to work. It will, but it won't. But if we did the crafter hopper there, block. No, because now we're right in that same boat. Maybe not. I don't know. Put a crafter. Grab that. Ooh, we might be running into a situation where that powers that. That's a block. We got each other. That's a life for love. Yo, how's it going, Buttercup? Oh, what's up, Nelly? She's mad at me currently, I think. Hey, Nala. Nala, come here. People want to see you. Please. Come here. Here's your puppers. She's blurry, but here's your puppers. Why don't you lay? You have your own little bed right there. Why don't you lay in here and hang out? Hold on, I gotta take my headphones off. There's the puppers. Normally she hates hugs, but for whatever reason right now she's tolerating it. She has her own little bed that she could lay on right here and hang out. And you know, I could put a puppo cam on the screen. I have a second camera I could use. Yes, I could have a pup cam, but you don't want to hang out in here. You're turdly. That's the only kind of dad I'm gonna be, is a dog dad. Hi, puppies. I don't want fucking crotch goblins. Well, that and fucking schools are dog shit anymore. VOD track. Because actual PC, best computer. I have a separate VOD mix. Hey. So, there's technically, I have 3 different audio mixes. I have my stream mix, which is what you're hearing now, and then there's a VOD track from OBS that gets uploaded to Twitch that I then use for. Okay, she's just gonna run away. Technologia, that's how. Oh, you're over there. Hey. On your cot. Right there. Lay down. Okay. Fuck you, Light. Fucking piece of shite. Technologia. Maybe going back to sleep at 3 p.m. Whatever. So, cat. If I do that. So, this is what I'm trying to make smaller. If I can make it smaller. Hold up. Do that. Dude. That. Then it's leaves. Be a leaf here. With another hopper there. The bee nest. Which I'm gonna replace that. Just so. Move that. Let's check on this really quick. Okay. This is the system I'm trying to slim down. Need that. Next. No, that's not where I want you to go. You go like that. Then that. Next. Then we do block with a block here, block there, up, that, have a comparator here. A dust there. That needs to be a glass block. Dust like so. Then from there, we want to put hopper, 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 hopper. Ooh, no. Okay, then we need that. And those. Up like so. That needs to go that way. And then we grab the hopper again, put it like that. Now I need the target block, please. There. Because we're gonna go block, 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 block. Target block's gonna go there. Take a comparator out of here with a repeater, a dust, dust, repeater. Then comes the fun part of block. Light, you're pissing me off. Yep, I fucked that up. So that good did this right. This goes like that, and then it's yeah. And from this. Oops. So what did I do there? Torch. Okay. Want to double check. You got this part right. Theoretics. So if we did a stack of, we should get a stack of bottles in there. Yes, technologia. Technologia. Ha 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 ha. Technologia. 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 So, like I said, you should get 64 bottles there. Which then those bottles would infinitely recycle, except for the only problem is when the chests start to overflow. So 62. Didn't change anything. Remove that. Okay, technology broken. Hmm. Wait, I think Technologia needs to do this. Do that. No? Do that? Hmm. Technologia. I mean, I was able to condense that down quite a bit, which is nice. But for what I'm actually going to be doing, condensing it down like this doesn't fucking matter. Because if I condense it down, Technologia. I don't know. No, I'm lost. I'm so lost and confused. My Technologia is not working very well. I mean, it's working. I just trying to figure out why. It's there and there. If I put those there, they end up stuck there again. I need to figure out a system for this part where items don't get left behind. Because while I suppose it doesn't matter, but it kind of does. Yeah, down here I could have another where the honey bottles go. Honeycomb. So technically, I could build this part again. Because it's as simple as just copying this. Ooh, no, I can't. Because then this redstone, actually, if we just put a block there, that should block the redstone from going. Yeah. There we go. Forget I can just place a block where I don't want redstone going. Is that a sun? Here I am. And then we just grab a hopper and we do that. And then we do this where we go bloop. Then technically, just fill. That way it's 50-50 on whether it's bottled or sheared. I still need a honey block. So say honey blocks went. It's gonna try. To put the hunt. Okay, so now I just complicated this way more by adding that second filter. Although you technically no, because I have it going that way. So yeah, there'd have to be separate hopper line coming around. Fuck! I just made this more complicated. I wasn't trying to make it more complicated. And make it easier. Damn it. Never. Begin whipping dance of the dead. Blackened is the end of the dead. Color we're blackened. I need to sit down and figure out what the fuck's up with my Discord. I mean, can't really do that. If I did the hopper. Okay, well, I think I just complicated this more. Because it's gonna try and craft. Hold on. Do I have a crafting table? No. Book. Give me a crafting table. Is it 4 or 9? I don't have any honeycomb. Some in here. Is it 4 honeycomb? Okay, so it's gonna craft the honeycomb blocks. I don't necessarily want it to craft honeycomb blocks. If I craft honeycomb blocks, I don't think they're uncraftable. No, it's not. And I don't want honeycomb blocks. So this is pointless. So I was able to semi-improve the design, shrink it down. I got to figure out what's going on with my. We're gonna have to fix that somehow. We gotta fix our item elevator. Ideally, I think it would just be better if it was a dropper that dropped items into a water column, maybe? Because the one for making candles is fairly straightforward. That's literally it right there. To begin with dance of the dead. Blackened is the end. To begin with dance of the dead. So let's just get rid of this. Real reason to keep it. The part is you don't really see the. I mean, there's an easier way to do this, I think, where we have the crafting happening behind the farm. So technically, you'd take output from here, shoot it back this way, have the crafting happening back here, and then feed it into a hopper line here. I'm trying to make it make sense. Because, I mean, you could have crafter here. No. Crafter could go. We flipped it so that the crafter was back here and then it spit items out towards the front. No, I don't think that would work. Ugh. I don't know. A shout to the wind. How can you be this way? Yeah, the problem is I don't see the bees out over here. Did they escape? No. No, there's fucking bees in there. Because, yeah, there's even items stuck in this one. So, if we can find a way... If we can think of a better item elevator... where items aren't getting stuck... So let's actually take a stack of bottles out really quick. Wavelength, personal mix. We're gonna turn the music down. We should get 64 bottles in there. If changing the timings work, then we don't necessarily have to redo our entire item elevator. But if the timings didn't fix it and there's more bottles left behind, we might have to reconsider the item elevator situation. Yeah, 62. 2 are still getting stuck. And I'm going to guess it's stuck there and there. Yep. The rhythm is right. What? I wasn't... I don't know. This is driving me wild. Driving me a little bit crazy. Not gonna lie. Because this over here works fine. Could be maybe be faster if I spaced out the sheep by 1 and maybe had 2 sheep per... I'm not doing anything. I'm fixing how I'm sitting in my chair, Nala. Just lay down. I'm gonna stand up here in a second. Take a quick break when this ad break hits. So, I mean, I feel like I could make it better. I feel like I can make this better. And we're going to try to again after the ad break. I should maybe try and find a different elevator design. I think what would be the most beneficial would be having the craftables come out back here and down, and then that way the hopper line that feeds into that, you just basically have a hopper line that would feed in from back here to one of the hoppers to go into the storing. So I think the easiest way, oops, what did I remove? Nothing of importance. It's my FPS 100. Okay, so we're gonna do this again. Basis of it at least started. Hoppers like that. The bop 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 bop. Okay, so we got the item filter going in, bop bop bop. Hit the computer. All right, we're gonna run a quick ad break. I will be right back. Tecnologia. Okay, we're back. Quick 3-minute ad break. Hopefully you guys stretched, got some water. I started. So this is the base for this entire system. We want that, like that, that. So that way, okay, so that have that go long, still have one hopper pointing into that. So now what I want to do would be want to have I don't know how well this would work because I don't know if any of this redstone here would lock hoppers here. For the actually, it wouldn't. Because, uh, technically, uh, technically, I think. Oh, my brain doesn't want to work. So if we had that, like that. 7. That's still. I want this to work, but wanting it to work and actually having it work the way we want it to are two completely different things. Because this would be a rafter here. Cowboy and singing black, finger in the air. Let me see what you're at and say, hey. Okay, go. This. Technically, we don't need that there. Because that would be like that. Technically, this part could be in a basement, I guess. Man, American Badass, watch me kick. Radio edit. Oh, fuck. I forgot about the redstone that goes back here. Oh, we might be able to get away with it, actually. Herder. Dust. That. That. Dust. this. It works, but it doesn't. Although, this technically would allow me to sort out the bottles here so they go into a recycling system. Or the bottles could come around. What? Let's place a block there. Hit that. Hopper going in that. Oh, wait. I just realized when I do that, now I don't have... Okay, so that's gonna go away because I still need to do the fucking redstone for this. Which is gonna be... block there. We did a converter out of that. Yeah, this is where it starts to get complicated when I try to make nice toit redstone. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Because technically, there would be a crafter. Maybe another block with that there. That there. 9. Table 5 there. Need a block there. Block there. Dust. Oh, wait, no, it's a repeater there. Dust here. So if we I don't have just honey bottles, do I? Ingredients. No, it's gonna be in food. I didn't see honey bottle. Where the food and drinks? I didn't see it in food and drinks. Unless I'm just blind. Oh, I am. There. Do that. Because I still have to go out like that. Run it out one more, actually, like so. Just because I don't want any of that. Oops. One more that way. So that way, that crafter being touched. So if that go in, should get 16 bottles here. Or not, because I forgot to do this. Boop. Fill that with 64. That's filled. I'm gonna take those out. And now, put 16 bottles in. Not getting sugar. So we're getting somewhere. Now, technically, what I could do is I think there's room. There is, but there isn't room. What I want is for bottles to come back up there. Technically, I think it still could be done. How I'm struggling to understand my concept. Because there'd have to be a hopper there. Hopper like that. And then let's just try this. Where we go like that. That. Down one. Place that. And then place that there. Off of here. 2, 3. Make no. I think we can come off of here safely. We need the target block now, because target block would go here. Here. Need a comparator facing the wrong way. Comparator. Heater. Heater. Dust. 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 Torch would be there, and then we need block there. Block there. And the block there. Technic. Or could I get away with the torch like that? I think I can. Does that have does not have bottles. Have bottles there. So theoretically, if I go pick the hopper in there. That's not working. Torch that. None there. Oh, it's blocking that hopper. So I don't think I need that. Still locking that hopper. So, no, so I just want to see something. See if we do that. If those hoppers lock. Lay on your bed. So say we got 20 bottles in there. I want to make sure that this hopper is, which I don't think it is. Any blocks coming in there. Right? Items making their way. Oh my god, I fixed it. Let's fucking go. Yes. Yes. I big brain. I mean, it still takes up a larger footprint than I want it to. Could I? No, I can't have that system there or there. It has to be there. So, I mean, what? So, our concept is shrinking in footprint slowly. It went from this to this, now to this. So now just to actually test this, get some bees in here. Do nighttime, so that way they 3 that noon. Theoretically, that should work. So they'll come out, they'll do their thing. They'll go back in. When they come out, they'll generate 3 honey levels. Then the next time they leave and come back, generate 3 more honey levels. Means we'll get a bottle down here. So technically, this idea will work. We just still have to do some fine tuning to eventually get to a final product where technically we'd have 4 hives that get the bottles refilled, have the bottles being recycled basically. Every time the hive is harvested, so I guess the next thing to do would be to make the 4 nest. Pop. Okay, have the recycling one side or the other. Bottle recycler. Okay, so I want to see what the honey level is. It's not gonna tell me because I don't have it enabled. F3, F6, yes. Memory. Looking at block, state, or tag. I don't know if it's state or tag. Okay, so it has a honey level of 2. So now I need to figure out. You're pissing me off, Light. I swear to fuck. So technically, I'd want. I don't need the target block right now. Okay, so there is an issue here. Fuck. This is why we test. Because now it's slowly draining that. I don't want it to. Somehow we ended up with a. What if I made it so this was a stone slab? Would that still affect the... I don't know. Let's test. Oop. Yeah, that's still affecting that. Which means that gets drained. So in trying to compact my design, I think I made an oopsie. Also, I seem to be missing a bottle still. No, I'm not. Right there. Faith of my father, my brother, my maker and savior. Get through the night. See, I thought I could be smart. So technically this would have to be 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. I'm trying to figure out how to... I need it to run. So technically we feed them to one side. We have the bottles go out the back up and in. And then we have the... We had... I'm gonna use the bathroom during the first break. But whatever. Oh, I'm being annoyed. Let me guess. It's... Why is it... Oh, wait. Is that a dropper or a dispenser? Dispenser. Why is... So, wait. Why is it working over here where it's... This one's... Right? Ooh, because they don't have... I bet it's because... So, let's do this. Fill that up so that it cannot fucking do that. I think that's my problem. And then if we actually do this... And... do that. So then it has to take the frickin'... That's why the other ones are working. It's because the dispensers, right? Yeah, the dispensers are full of the glass bottles. So that, and since it's constantly getting resupplied, it can't pick up the, yeah, that was my issue. I don't like, okay, so I need to go into options, controls, keybind. And that's fine. I need to find where R is used, which would be reload shaders. Where's the other spot where R's used that I'm having issues with? Or is that, oh yeah, right here. B, no. E, no. D's not used for anything. That way I can go like that. We will meet again on the other side. Word. What the good book said. Okay, I think I have this figured out now. The fun part is going to be doing this 4 times, the bee farm part 4 times, which is the easy part. So if I build it, it's the bee farm part that needs to be built. No, because then I'd have to move this whole. But even if I move this whole setup here, I'm running into the issue where it's. Well, let me try something else. Glass, because it shouldn't travel down that way, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I wonder if that's also powering. This is why we test stuff. So there's 19 in there. It's harvested. Yeah, because if we had 4 beehives going into 1 crafter, then every time the beehives get harvested, granted they get harvested all at the same time, then that's 1 block that goes into storage. Bottles that go back. When I get high on speed. Top fuel, funny car, the drug for me, my God, kickstart my art. So I'm trying to figure out how I could build this automatic farm. So the honeycomb one is easy. See how this one's doing. This is still at 14. Is it not? Probably no. It's got shears in there. So where? That That's annoying. Okay, so let's work backwards here for a second, because where my issue is yeah, the hopper's locked. Is the redstone there? Kickstart my heart. You're looking for another good time. Okay, so we'll redesign that one. We'll redesign it kind of in the same fashion, except for we don't need the elevator to recycle. I mean, maybe, no, not necessarily. Because realistically, we had it so we walked in on that level, basically. Got the chest there for access. Boom. I still think we'd have to move this or redo this a little bit. Needs a little bit of tweak. This here was my failed concepts of what I was trying to do there. Where actually, this wasn't really a failed concept. It was just a proof of concept for the iron farm. But realistically, I think what I would do is, as iron comes out of the iron farm, it just goes into a crafter. No, because we still have to separate out the poppies. So, although that's what we have to do. I'm going to figure out because this isn't a very tileable. Tileable. God, that word is kind of in the ass. Here's a different sorting system I came up with. This is going to be like a wood storage for like a lumberman, where all of the raw logs. Oh, this is broken, isn't it? Yep. All the filters are broken. What the what? But this is gonna have the like raw logs, oak logs down here, and then all the craftables. Why is there copper ingots in there? All the craftable materials would be up here, basically. And I'm gonna work on reworking this at some point in the future. I think I want to rework this at some point in the future. I think maybe, I'm not 100% sure yet. The only problem is I don't necessarily know how I'd go about reworking this, because I think actually for just a single player world, I think this would work fairly well. And this is also one of those things where I'm not quite sure if I want to do like separate storage systems around my world so that we actually like build out a world. Because here's that same idea, but wait. No, it's actually, realistically, I'd even scale that down to where it's three chests, and then have it's not going into there. Okay. Because I think I could. No, I can't. This is gonna be the simple impulse SV sorter, where it's block, 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 missing block. Oops. Repeater, torch, comparator, dust, dust, dust. With a hopper there. Then we have the hopper line that goes that way. Hopper line going that way. And then there's the hoppers that feed here. That go like that. 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 Here. Like that. That. That there, right? Trying to make sure. Yeah. Because the torch goes there. Then you have your comparator with your dust, heater there. That shouldn't lock that hopper, right? That comes down there and it gets locked there. Okay, good. Then you have your chest here that your copper golem would sort. So that's that. Fairly easily done. We could also remove this chest and just have 2 double chests up here of crafted wood materials. I think that would be better almost. Honestly. Because then we could go, say this was oak logs being stored here. Then we could have, you know, our structure or whatever of our we could have an oak log there. Well, there. And then that way we know it's oak storage. And then we can do some trickery here with like a stair or something so we can still open. Actually, if we had a slab maybe, then that kind of hides the redstone there, and you can still open. So I think that's going to be our lumber yard storage, or we'll just design different little storage rooms for different materials maybe. I don't know. I kind of like Impulse's idea of a silo. Well, the silo is a cool idea for having all these industrial type farms, because that way you don't have, you can build facades, make it look good, and not have to worry about having it look great from the, not have to worry about building like backs of buildings and whatnot. So, or I could go my other route where some of these will have their own buildings, like the sheep farm, this wool farm could be tied into the said villager profession job. So there's that way we could go about it when I decide to do this in survival. I haven't started the survival world yet. Mainly because I want to work these ideas for things out in my head before I build them. I mean, I could just start my survival world and then, you know, build these. Like, this is the iron farm I want to build for my survival setup. It's an iron farm. It's Impulse SV's villager breeder and iron farm. Oh, he's actually farming carrots. Holy shit. But I was trying to figure out that one right there. Yep, that's the one. I think. Yeah, this does. So you have your iron that goes into a crafter, and then, yeah, I was trying to figure this out so that it works. But I think what I'm going to do for that is, since there's only 2, we could have them spaced out by a block, so that way, I think I was running into an issue. No. What issue was I running into? Oh, yeah, the white dye issue, which is annoying. I don't need white dye. I just want bone block. But I'm also going to end up probably making some form of moss farm. Well, we'll have 2 moss farms. We'll have one that's strictly for pale moss, one that's strictly for regular moss. So technically we don't have to meal. Actually, I think for the iron farm, we'll have it so that we save, 2 double chests worth of the poppies that we could turn into red dye. Then once that's filled up, all the poppies go into this, where it just turns them into bone meal, and the bone meal gets turned into bone block. That we then could technically use for whatever moss farm we design or end up building. What was this? Oh, this was, yeah. We could just do this for the iron. Except for, I think I can make this better now. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But we are going to have an ad break coming up here in a few minutes, I believe. So I'm not too worried because this is sorting iron. The iron goes into blocks. Whereas if I maybe crafted the iron blocks and then had it sort down into here, I don't know. I don't know how to handle that necessarily yet. But I'd have to rebuild that iron farm design because I kind of messed it up a little bit. But if I'm going to rebuild it, I'm going to go off to a different village, which we have quite a few, though. I think we'll probably go off to the village over there. Space it out 128 blocks from the village. All right. I'm going to run an ad break, go use the bathroom, and we will be right back after this break. but okay, we're back. I forgot to lower my desk before we went to our ad break / bathroom break. I need to change that message in Stream Elements so that it more accurately reflects what I'm doing. Because really, that 3-minute ad break is a stretch break, hydration break. If I don't take a break, I'm gonna at least a short break like that. We might go over. You're gonna go over there, go off the backside of that village. Yeah, because Light, you're pissing me off. Oh wait, let's check this, because theoretically, this should be fixed. 20 level 3. Nothing in there. So yeah, I think theoretically our next idea is going to be having 4 of the bee nests with this system here that then feed into a crafting, or having the 4 bee nests that feed into a crafter and then recycle the bottles back, the empty bottles back after it pulls the honey block into storage. So technically, no, there's not the honey level now. 4. Max honey level is 5. There we go. So now there's a honey bottle in there. Okay, our next time to start this redstone project. So it's going to start the same way as all the other ones, where we have our storage first. Because the storage part of it is easy part. Except for I need to get rid of... Where are my hoppers? Am I blind and just don't see the hopper? Or I had hoppers in my inventory. Okay, so we want a single chest. Technically, we want 2 double chests. My bad. That. Bop, 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 bop. Bop. I already fucked up. God damn it. 3, 2, like that. But wait, I already fucked up. 3. Like that. That. We do that. Block there. The dust there. Dust there. Dust there. That becomes a comparator there with a hopper pointing in like a so. Now comes the fun part of doing the B part, which how do we do this? Because it's gonna be fees to one side. The only problem with figuring, I'm trying to figure this out. Can't figure this out. I need to figure this out. Window is a crack in the sky. I stare into darkness in the blink of an eye. Okay, so we have this part set. That part's set up. Now, technically, it has to go, can't go on that block there. It has to go up one more block. I need to place a block there, though, so we can have this here where we take the hoppers like that. Waiting, can you see me? Okay, so now we have the start of what would be the crafters. Actually, bring this out this way. I had an idea just now. Bring this out one more and up. What if the, okay, so say it's there like that. Then we would have our hives. This. Then we put our flowering azalea here. And then we still have our, crafter. Where's our crafter? I need the crafter. Boop. Crafter. Here. With that, so we can point a hopper. That would then come down this way. Oops. Except for I don't think that works because it's probably gonna lock that hopper. So What if we had crafter in like that? No, because I think that's still gonna lock. Not necessarily, because now we could come off of here with our redstone that we need for the crafting part, which is comparator heater block with dust. Then a comparator here with the crafter there. Disable that many slots. Disable all of those slots. There we go. Then it's not locking any hoppers. Actually, I could move. With this idea, I could move it back. And then technically we have that hopper there. We gotta rebuild that part now, but that's okay. We do that block there, block there, block there. I'm gonna block like that. Dust, heater, inheritor, another crafter here. That. And then we go into this one, disable that. I don't. I do. So. We have this set for honey blocks, right? Yes. So, just a quick test. I don't really care about seeing the bees necessarily. I mean, seeing the bees would be cool. But then we have it so that this would... Technically, that could then be the... I mean, ideally, I want to have it so that the... let's put that in. Everything. Okay, so that doesn't work. Hoping that would have worked. Here I was hoping that would have worked. Although I think it that so it feeds into there. That might be the way to do it. Then we can still have, I think, this going on. Inheritor. that. I don't know if that's... It's not connecting to any... Shouldn't be connecting to any of that redstone. Okay, it's not. I don't like that. There's nothing in there. Let's do this. Paste that. What's in there? Oh, it might help if I... do that. Then put that in. Then now let's... Right, testing. We should get bottles. There should be 16. Let's go. So then... all we need to do is... I mean, because that's quite a bit smaller footprint-wise. I don't necessarily care about seeing the bees. And then, as long as I have a way to... No, because I don't need to constantly refill the system, because it's going to do that itself. I do need some sort of overflow. I don't think this would overflow though. Let me know, Timmy. So let's replace that with glass so we can do this. Days of my life. Now we need to ease the right way. That's unnecessary. So now that... Oh wait, I still gotta do this part though. I knew this was gonna come to bite me in the butt. Son of a biatch. I might be able to get away with it still. Let's see if we do that. Actually, we might be able to get away with an atrocity. Killing time, we were young and restless and needed to unwind. I guess nothing could last forever. Okay, first, but comparator. Oh, that's not a comparator. That's a repeater. Comparators there. Now we can load that, and then we just dust, 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 dust. And I mean, technically, we still have a spot where we could do this. And then I still have to. There's. I mean, technically, I think I could almost get away with having the chests out this way. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, worth trying. Is way I need the dropper Vader stuff, which drop don't need glass that. So let's place a block here. Dropper. Gonna have to go up one more, but that last one needs to point that way so that we have hopper. Cross like so. I think our best shout would be to go this way. The target block needs to go there. Inheritor. Repeater. Dust. Repeater. Oh, I forgot the. I mean the torch. So that, and then we go bop. What did I? I don't have empty bottles. The ingredients, yes. That. Before we put these in here, we're gonna fill that up so that we don't run into the issue we had earlier. That's good. That's good. This part should be good theoretically. Saying theoretically because I don't see anywhere where redstone's touching. So if we do that, that doesn't feel right though. So let's do this. We'll grab. Just do it this way. Say we had a stack. Oh, man. Oh. That's not draining. Draining. Okay, that's empty. So technically what we'd have to do, just so we don't run into that situation where it's draining quicker. We'd have to do this. Okay, now I want to check this. None, no bottle, no bottle, no bottle, no bottle, bottle. So what if we did that, that, that. Technically, that one should be bottles in there. Will the palace fall? I don't even think I need that. I just need a block. Still fucking put the fucking bottle there. Around here, no bottle, no bottle, no bottle, no bottle. Okay, so what if we put it this way? That. 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 Then like that. The hopper doesn't need to point like that. You can go like that. Grab those 57 bottles. Put them in there. Then theoretically, there should be no bottle being left in here. And we should have 57 here. Let's wait and see if that actually happens, though. I'm hoping that happens. Because 56 still means one bottle is getting stuck. Why? Wait, I think I figured out the issue was timing. Right? So they should be here. 57. I think what it is the timing's just a little too fast. So we should get 57 bottles in there. Last bottle. We're still not getting 57th, and I don't remember what I did to fix this on the others. So I want to make sure this system works before I fill it with bees. Because technically, I know everything else in the system should work. I think. That's a big I think. 56 still. Should be 57. Why is... Just see something. Because one of these had the working... I think it was this one. If I'm up here. So say we had bottle go in there. Oh, nope, that one still has a bottle getting stuck. I thought I had one where the bottle wasn't getting stuck. Is it this one? No, bottles still get stuck in that one too. Okay. So I guess there's just always going to be one bottle stuck in that top dropper. But theoretically, those are all good to go. Okay. So let's take that back. Although, I think those should be this hopper that feeds the so. Still annoyed. Okay. We're gonna do it this way. And then I need a block there so I can hopper like so. Was that seriously our issue? I think I literally just fixed my issue. For these all have 64, right? Those are preloaded. Yep. Did I fix my issue though? I think I might have. Let's check. If that's the case, then we should be getting bottles here. Yes. We're going to check that to make sure one doesn't. Actually, the easiest way to check would be, do we end up getting 64 here? If we get 64 there, then we theoretically, maybe, hopefully, fixed our issue. I think. Then, yeah, as it would fill the. Oh, I thought I fixed it. Wait, hold up. Was I being? Oh, it's stuck there. Fixed it. That's annoying. Okay, so. What happens if I put a torch there? Nothing. But it had that torch there. And another torch there. Let me try that. Should theoretically still get 64 there. No, it couldn't. I could have hid this part back here, but we'd still have that sticking out this way, I think. Now there's two stuck. Still sitting here trying to figure out what is not working. I think part of my problem is I'm trying to like get this all to fit into a compact space so I can put some sort of build around the outside. I think is part of my issue. No bottle, no bottle, no bottle, no bottle, bottle. Oh, 63. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong. And it annoys me that I have one bottle that's still stuck in the elevator. I don't know what I need to fix. Because this one, I think it's just because the length. Just do that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That shouldn't be it. Or is it because it's firing up? Because grabbed a stack of bottles out of there. I'm in there. No, because there was still a bottle stuck in this one. Children of the world, listen to what I say. Oh, because I think what's happening is when it gets there, it's trying to suck it back down, maybe? It keeps flashing 2. Yeah, I don't know. Although, if I do that. See, 'cause here I was thinking I'm being smart. But no. What if we put a block there? Because then it would. Technically way overfilled this. It doesn't. If we leave it to where that one's empty, then theoretically this would work better, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's all just a theory in my head. But Because technically, I don't even think we need this hopper to be full. We just need this to stay, being restocked. So if we take, just made it to where there's a stack in there. So that way, throw that stack in. And then we'll put a stack in here to test. If we end up with 64 there, then we know this system works. So I think what happens is, as I try to two, three. I think that was 12. I wasn't counting, so yep. Actually, select those. Theoretically, this is broken. I know. Yeah, that's broken. Because technically, that part needs to go up one, or no, because the crafter redstone has to be on the same level as the crafter. Although I could move the crafter redstone over here. And technically, but what if I had no? Because that's still gonna. Okay. So, I mean, we're making progress on stuff that's going to, I think. Like I said, I think this is gonna work. Oh, we're back to fucking bottles getting stuck again. Generals gathered in their masses. I want to see if this. I want to at least see this system working. Ugh. The only problem is I don't know if I want my survival world to be stream only or if I want to do videos with it. I haven't started it, so technically either one would work. I think. Like I said, all my thinking's here. I'm trying to apply it in game now so that stuff would make sense. Honestly, personally, I think for me, that over there would be better than this. This is just going to make a singular honey block quicker. Like it just made a honey block. So there's one honey block in there. Where it gets complicated is in the redstone up there. Because, yeah, 12 bees making however many. It ends up being. Do I need to? Is there a fucking OBS update that I skipped? I feel like there was. I world stops turning. Ashes where the body's burning. Okay, we're gonna take our final break of the stream, and we're gonna wrap up here shortly. We're gonna go for a little bit longer after this last ad break. I'm going to use it as a chance for a bio break, go get another drink, and yeah. Night time. Wait, why is there a honey bar? What? Okay, that's not good because that should have been picked up by the hopper, but apparently it wasn't. So what's going on here? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Weird. I think real quick before we end stream, I'll give you guys a little teaser of what's to come for the next RC stream once we have all the parts. Hold it there. I just gotta dig out. Oops. First. So this is the radio I ended up picking up. The FlySky Noble NB4 Plus. It's got a right-handed mode, so right-handed steer, or you can swap that around. So for left-handed people, it's ambidextrous. Got a nice touch screen on it, and it gives me all the information I need on the screen. Battery, so I can connect the battery. This is gonna be kind of hard to see. Do this. So, as you can see, green light there. We got a piece of tape. Pull the trigger. Motor rotates. Kind of see the little flag. So with it being an outrunner, I don't think I need like tape flag here necessarily. Just pull it off like that. But so with this being an outrunner motor, outer shell of the casing that spins along with the input shaft. So if I remember correctly, it's that first. Then but yeah, that is our motor ESC combo. First, power on the transmitter, power on the vehicle, power off the vehicle, power off the transmitter. I need to remember that. So it's on, off, off. First on, last off. So first on is always going to be the transmitter. Last off. So this is going to be the first thing on and the last thing turned off. So technically, look it up this way. So turn do that. Then now we have we're going to have to keep an eye on our temperatures. We don't have steering hooked up right now, but turn that off. Turn that off. Now that's off. We disconnect the battery. But yeah, that's our setup. Like I said earlier, we're still waiting on the chassis, the transmission. We have a spare body showing up tomorrow, which I will probably show off on stream tomorrow. Nice thing about this motor ESC combo is I can run a 3S battery pack on it. You don't really feel a need to necessarily run a 3S battery pack, but I haven't been able to actually like run RC setup yet, so we'll figure that out later. For now, we are going to work on. We have our carrying cases set up. I guess I can stream. So this is the Harbor Freight Apache 3800. Got spot for the truck itself. Out of the way. So as you can see, there's the spot for the truck, a spot for my 24 scale stand, a spot for the battery charger, for these batteries. I can carry up to 7 more of these batteries with me. 7 might be a little overkill, but I don't know yet. If anything, I'm gonna stick with this 2S pack, but maybe try to find some higher milliamp hour packs to run. And then underneath the cart is the power cord for the charger. And then we have another Apache 2800. Another a 2800 case for our transmitter. It's also got a spot for our program card for programming the ESC. And then there's still some room for stuff to go in this. But we got a spot for the transmitter. This spot right here is for the lanyard I'm going to use with for storing my lanyard that I'm using with the transmitter. And then, like I said, there's the spot for program card. And all of this makes it a lot easier for carrying, going places with my RC, with the SEX24 RC truck. Boop. Light, you're pissing me off. We're gonna put all of this away because I'm gonna show. Quickly set it up for other people later. That doesn't go in this case. But yeah, so got this one on sale from Harbor Freight. This is Harbor Freight's version of a Pelican case. The 2800 I got on sale, it was $22. Normally $30. The 3800 I believe is a little bit more expensive. Percent sure off the top of my head. But yeah, that is going to. I don't know if that's how bad that's swelling. It feels pretty. Yeah. I don't know how well that, but this, that's working. So that's going to be a problem. Not going to distribute those evenly. That's minorly annoying, but I think our best bet is going to be just having this, but reworking it a little bit more so that, one, there's not as many hoppers being used. If I could get it to kind of fit in this footprint versus, well, I'd still have this, but yeah, I don't know. It's the annoying part. But we're gonna rework it eventually at some point, I think. I think the next time we stream Minecraft, we're gonna ditch this project for a little while. And we'll rework this one over here. This iron farm design. I think we can make it a hell of a lot better doing it a little bit differently than this. Right now, this is just too clunky and it keeps making white dye. I don't necessarily, I mean, white dye wouldn't be a bad thing to have, but not something I need auto-crafted. I'd rather have it auto-craft into the bone blocks. And then I think eventually we might work on, actually, this design could be kind of, I want to work on a new sheep farm design, I think. Because if we have 2 of every colored sheep, but have it so it's a 2x1 pen. So basically the pen would be, let's just grab glass. Basically this. So the sheep would be there. I don't know how well that's going to work. I'm going to tinker with that idea offline, I think. And we will... I got to take a phone call. But that's going to do it for today's stream. I will see you guys in a little bit. Fucking join.
Oh, it's right there.
What? What's the problem now?